O isang magandang hapon po, maalab na pagbati sa inyo sa araw ng kasarinlan, araw ng kalayaan. Magandang hapon po, ako po inyong likod. Barbie Atienza, nagbabalik po ang Tourismo TV at syempre ang ating kasanggat, kasama at kaibigan at kapatid na si Michael Herrera. Magandang hapon sa iyo, Mike.
Magandang hapon po sa lahat ng nakikinig sa atin sa Tourismo TV. Today is our 7th episode. At ngayon po sa araw na ito, ang pag-uusapan naman po natin o tututok po tayo sa turismo ng NCR at ng Region 3. Sir Barbie.
At magandang araw para Michael, pag-usapan natin ang turismo at ang kinabukasan nito. Dahil alam naman natin, lahat ng ginagawa natin at ginagalaw sa industriya ng turismo ay para sa kapakanan ng sambayanan. At dahil yan ay dahil mahal na mahal natin talaga ang ating lambayan. Hindi ba? Para sa bayan, ika nga.
Tama po yan, Sir Barbie. Tama po yan, partner Barbie. Yes.
Oh, at siguro simulan natin, papakilala na muna natin, Mike, yung ating mga panelists, yung mga panawin at sapong ito dahil madami tayong pag-uusapan, no? Pagkatapos yan, alam ko meron kang inihandang pambulaga sa ating mga nanonood at kasama dito sa Tourismo TV. Sa pagpapakilala, unahin na po natin, kasama natin po sa ating pag-uusap, ang huntahan, sa hapong ito, ang Director, ang Regional Director ng Department of Tourism para sa Region 3. Welcome to the show, Miss Carolina Uy. Director
Hi,
Uy.
good afternoon.
Ayan. Magandang hapon po.
Good afternoon. Magandang hapon po sa inyo.
At salamat po, nakasama namin kayo. At kasama rin po natin ang Regional Director naman para sa National Capital Region, ang Department of Tourism Regional Director for NCR, ang kaibigan nating matalik, ang gwapong-gwapo at idolo ng mga OFW to ngayon si Director Woodrow Maquiling.
Ganun ba?
Magandang hapon sa iyo,
Sir Barbie.
Mike,
of course, to my fellow Regional Director from Region 3, ang napakagandang Regional Director sa buong Pilipinas. Kasi pagkalapit kami, RD Carol, of course, Barbie, happy 122nd
meron yata technical problem tayo. Yes.
Yes, happy Independence Day.
122 pagdiriwang ng ating kasarinlan. At si Mike, si RR at saka yun si Director Carol, sila yung mga sumasalubong sa ating mga OFW na umuwi. Kaya yan ang mga idol ngayon ng mga OFW And thank you for taking care of them. Taking care of our bagong bayani. At kasama rin po natin ang batang-batang entrepreneur at eksperto naman sa mga kasamang Michael, mga adventure tourism. Alamin natin kung ano yung adventure tourism na yan. Siya ay Managing Director ng Gravity Ventures Pilipinas Incorporated. Welcome to the show, Ryan Guzman. Good afternoon, Ryan.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, sir. Our regional directors, good afternoon po. At sa lahat ng mga nanonood, good afternoon sa inyo lahat. Happy Independence Day.
Yun. At welcome home. Kasi alam ko, matagal kang namalagi sa ibang bansa. OFW ka rin no?
Opo.
Alright. Pag-usapan natin yung ginagawa mo maya-maya. At also with the show, folks, is the Administrator of Travel Philippines. What is it all about? He'll tell us about it. This is Byaheng Budgetarian. O yan, pag pinag-usapan yung budget, medyo interesting kagad yan dahil gusto mong bumiyahe, pero budget ka naman, no? Tight ang budget. Yan siguro solusyon dito. Byaheng Budgetarian-Project 81. Welcome to the show, Mohamed Luhushan.
Hello, everyone.
Good afternoon, Mohamed.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank Tourismo, especially Michael Herrera, for inviting me for this. This is an amazing opportunity.
All right. Are you streaming from Manila, Mohamed, or somewhere else?
I'm streaming from Manila, exactly.
Okay, good. All right. Partner, Michael,
Yes.
alam ko, sabi mo sa akin kanina, may binulong ka sa akin sa backstage, sa backroom. Sabi mo, meron tayong sorpresa, pambulaga sa ating mga kababayan ngayong araw ng kalayaan. Ano nga ba yan?
Right. Yeah, actually, ito po, no, meron pong bagong release na video o promotional video ang DOT na ipinost po ng ating napakagandang secretary or Department of Tourism Secretary na si Secretary Verna Puyat. At nandito po yan, ipapakita na po natin ngayon sa ating tech. Pwede na po ba natin siyang ipakita? Habang wala pa po, no? Kaya po natin ito gustong ipakita.
Tingnan mo iyong palad, kalyado mong kamay, sa hirap ng buhay. Ang dami mong problema na kung pangmiti, no'y pikang nga asti. Saan ka man naroroon, huwag kang matatakot sa barilong patalim, sa bakas ng madilim. Isip kong dagat, nalibot kong mundo, nasa puso ko pala ang hinahanap kong gulo. Ilang beses na akong muntikang mamatay. Alam ko ang sekreto, kaya't nandito pa at buhay.
Amazing number of Filipinos working our NHS, helping everybody. So thank you to all the Filipinos doing all this amazing work.
There is only one thing we say to the god of death, not today. Huwag po kayo susuko, bayani po kayong lahat.
Sabi nila may anting-anting ako, pero di nila alam na ang Diyos ang dahilan ko. Pinoy ako, buo aking loob, may agimat ang dugo ko. Pinoy ako, may agimat ang dugo ko.
Wow. So this video is for all the Filipinos out there.
Galing, galing.
Galing,
Ganda
no?
mga mensahe, no?
Ganda.
Kahit anong
Yes.
laki ng problema, nakangiti ka pa rin, noipi ka talaga. Kita mo naman si Ara-Aro, nakangiti. Ang daming
Esteemed.
problema niyan.
Oo, pinakamarami yan sa ngayon.
Pero nakangiti pa rin, di ba? Sabi nga ng mga, talagang walang problema, hindi maalpasan. Sabi, Filipino, may puso, matapang. galing na.
Galing.
Ayan,
Oh, yan din pag-usapan natin, Michael, yung Region 3 at saka yung National Capital Region, saklaw na rin yung mga bahagi ng Region 3 at Region 4A, talagang mapaghamon ng panahon. Itong COVID, pandemic, yung pagka-slowdown ng ekonomiya, mga limitasyon sa paglipad, mga pagbiyahe, mga airport, lahat yan may problema. Pero just the same, nagtipon-tipon tayo dito pag-uusapan natin ano ang hinaharap at kinabukasan ng turismong Pilipino, lalong-lalo na sa NCR at sa Region 3 ng ating bansa. Umpisahan natin, Mike.
Yes, I think let's start with our DOT NCR Director, Woodrow Maquiling. And he had this presentation, Maquiling, but he had this presentation ready at the backstage. Just let us know, Woodrow, kung gusto mo na mag-present. But please,
Sure.
yeah.
All right.
Yan na.
No, sir. I just wanna share to all our televiewers right now and to all your following also, that your Department of Tourism, not just in NCR, but across the country, actually, Region 3, Region 10, Region 9, Region 11, all over the country right now, have been working tirelessly since March 15 in addressing the pandemic in terms of the tourism sector. Last March 15, I think, if you may recall, when we started already the the GCQ, then eventually we went to ECQ. Just before that, all of us regional directors and top management are in one place somewhere in Region 6 because there's an event with the president. Timing, na-cancel yung event kasi yung impending pandemic. Timing, meeting kami doon lahat. We had a management committee meeting already, and then we already instituted and planned out our rapid response for the pandemic. So overall, sir, over the past 3 months, we were able to assist 30,426 foreign and stranded tourists. In fact, no less than the Department of Tourism mounted as much as 28 sweeper flights coming from the different regions papuntang Metro Manila, so that pagdating dito sa NAIA, National Capital Region, they can take their respective repatriation flights going to their home country. So a total of 35 repatriation flights and 186 sweeper flights also that we have assisted, because we have worked closely with the different embassies and consulates here in Manila in making sure and ensuring that all their nationals are able to leave the country safe and sound. In fact, that's the reason why the secretary approved and spearheaded the mounting of sweeper flights. And no less than the Department of Foreign Affairs Secretary commended the Department of Tourism for such great goodwill that has generated across the world for making sure that despite this pandemic and crisis, we're able to ensure the safety and the swift passage of all of these nationals back to their home country. And I'd like to share also, sir, that we've assisted as much as 8 sweeper flight and sweeper boats coming from Mimaropa region also. And then we have all of this little brown bag that all of our passengers, we call it a brown bag of hope. It's like it's a snack care kit, and then
Abaon.
DOT hygiene kits. Itong hygiene kits, this was provided by TPB for our OFWs. Remember, when they arrived, everything's closed. All our hotels are closed, but because of the joint administrative order between DILG, DOT, and DOH, we were able to open as much as up to today 470 hotels. They were repurposed into a quarantine facilities. So they're not operating as a hotel per se, but they're operating as a quarantine facility, and they're housing also other essential workers, health workers, BPOs, and other government frontliners. So,
but these hotels are being paid.
These hotels are being paid at a discounted rate. For OFWs, for land-based OFWs, they are paid by OWA, the admin hands and and then for seafarers, they are paid by their respective LMAs or manning agencies. So yun. So medyo yung ating mga hotels at that part for the past 3 months, this is a subsector in the tourism industry that has somehow survived over this pandemic because they were able to operate, they were allowed to operate, and then their people were allowed to work also. And not just that, they were able to heed the call of government in terms of helping this administration in addressing this crisis. So if you notice in your screen right now, we have as much as 10,000 rooms occupied sometime March 31. And we were able to open as much as 15,000 rooms then. So if you go after 1 month after, that's around April 30, we were able already to open as much as 42,000 rooms in the National Capital Region. That's consisting of OFWs 42%, with 37% BPOs. Maybe we can have our slides. Can we push forward? Yeah, please. Miss Ruth. We're already next please. We're already at the hotels. So basically, as of today, we were able to open 470 accommodation establishments, and we were able to that amounts to 56,945 rooms. And sometimes yung minsan nga at the time of April, nagiging 80% yung occupancy rate, nagiging 90% yung occupancy rate. So basically, while they are earning also, but more importantly, they were able to repurpose their facilities and ensure that they are able to assist our OFWs and our returning overseas Filipinos. So you can see on your screen right now, further on, that's as of March 31. But if you go further with our slides, we are already at around 57,000 rooms already. We are able to open that. And that's correct. Yes. See, if you can see there, we have as much as 470 hotels, 57,000 rooms. But this time, since madami nang nakauwi na OFWs papunta kanilang probinsya because of the President's directive, we have already eased up the congestion here in Metro Manila. So we have as much as 25 to 30,000 rooms already available at this point in time. But just the same, also because we opened already the Clark International Airport, which I think RD Carl will report later on, just recently also. And we have a lot of good news happening in Clark also. So basically, I think what our viewers and what our stakeholders should want to know is all of this tourism response and recovery plan, because I think this is what we, I think all of us are awaiting for this. How can we recover? How can our economy recover? How can our industry recover? How can our investments recover? And there's a few points that we have to point out here, that this tourism response and recovery plan is part and parcel of a legislative measure being tackled in Congress right now, which is called the Arise Bill. And it is originally, it says there 72 billion for the tourism industry, but it has gone down to as much as around 58 billion. But as it is, this is still a bill, but it's important that all of us stakeholders, we lobby to our different congressmen, because it is them who will approve this particular measure that will bring recovery of our economy and our industry. So basically, it touches on accreditation. So it's very important that all of our tourism establishments are accredited, because the beneficiary of the TRRP will be for the accredited primarily. And then, of course, we have this, that's the stimulus package. And then I'd just like to briefly give you an idea. Sir, I'm sure you are all familiar with this, but for the benefit of our viewers, that we have in 2019 was a great year for us. It was a milestone. We have reached as much as 8.3 million tourists, and an increase of 15.2 from the prior year, you know? And it has generated as much as 5.4 million jobs, including me and all of us here. And that equates to 12.7% of our country's GDP. Ano ba tong GDP? It's very simple. Ladies and gentlemen, ito yung kabuuhang income ng ating bansa. Combined lahat, whatever industry, and 13% of that is attributed to the tourism sector. So we have so much to be proud of. Pre-COVID, we are doing very well. In fact, January, February, ang taas-taas pa ng arrivals natin. But as of today, as of April already, we have already the negative 55% decrease in our tourist arrivals, and that's acceptable because this pandemic is a global phenomenon, and it has affected not just the Philippines, not just Asia, but across the world, and it has in fact affected so much in other parts of the globe right now. So moving forward, the TRP planning process is really a mixture of all the different national tourism organizations and the grassroots level and the local government units, so that we are able to get really what we want to do and where we want to go after this pandemic. And then, next, please. Objectives, next. So here's the target beneficiaries of the TRP: the primary tourism establishments, the secondary tourism establishments such as your restaurants, and of course the informal sector. And of course, it's very critical that you are accredited. And I'll discuss briefly later on that in process of accreditation, it is a lot easier now. It's streamlined, and most importantly, we have waived. The Secretary Berna already issued a memorandum that waives all the accreditation fees. So wala na po siyang bayad. So I encourage all of those non-accredited at this point in time to take this opportunity that we are still on a GCQ, and you just email us, and there's an email address that we will be flashing later on. And it's simple. We don't have to visit you. We just have to have a virtual tour or virtual inspection. And that's uso naman ngayon. Like ngayon, we have a meeting, but it's virtual meeting. So we have a virtual conference. So we'll just have a virtual inspection. And immediately you'll get your accreditation certificates. And it's very important. Under the IATF policy right now, while we are on quarantine, all tourism facilities, primary especially, will have to secure a certificate of authority to operate, otherwise known as CAO. So lahat po ng buong bansa ngayon, Sir Barbie and Sir Mike and the rest of our panelists also, all of the regional offices right now are, of course, after the responding to the crisis, now we are doing this new normal. And we are going around the whole country right now, making sure that our tourism facilities, especially our hotels, especially our transport groups, are complying with the health and safety protocols of the Department of Health. And can we move forward? Because I only have 7 minutes. All right, next. So that's the arise I was talking earlier on. All right. So I'd like to mention that there are a lot of the stakeholders were asking for assistance in terms of soft loans. But unfortunately, that is not within the mandate of the Department of Tourism. However, it is our objective to bridge the gap. So we have a number of government facilities and private financial institutions that were able to provide this particular programs. For instance, we have Land Bank for our small and medium-scale enterprises. They have offered this rescue, or they call it the interim rehabilitation support to caution unfavorably affected enterprises by COVID-19. So they can loan as much as 10. Initially, the whole project, they have allocated 10 billion pesos for the different stakeholders, not just tourism sector, but all other sectors. And next, we have also the DTI, the Small Business Corporation, that you can also avail of. We have the COVID-19 assistance to restart enterprises, or the DTI Cares program. So this is like, you can loan as much as 3 million pesos, and then with very minimal interest rates. And of course, we also have our Development Bank of the Philippines. They likewise offer the Small Business Puhunan Loan Program. Ito, ang maganda dito is, mas maliit siya. It's maximum of 1 million only. But the good thing is, you don't have to have a collateral. It appears that it's just the post-dated check. So that's the collateral security. You have to issue a post-dated checks for especially because the sector, there are a lot of big players, but there are more and more small players, which we're happy because we are encouraging entrepreneurship. So this can certainly help and help sustain and make the business afloat over the next few months also. And of course, we have the GSIS for the government workers. We have the SSS for our private sector employees. And we have already, the secretary already made sure that in view of the new normal, we are able to issue already the different memorandum circulars for different guidelines in operating the accommodation establishments, the tourist transport, the travel and tour agencies, the tour guides, the MICE organizers, and restaurants to complement the DTI issuances. And I'd like to make mention this, Sir Barbie and Sir Mike, that we have this Safe Pass. Safe Pass is invented by Talino Industries, and this is primarily spearheaded by the Department of Trade and Industry. And what's good about this is this is an all-digital, contact-free authorizing, business scheduling, and contact tracing solution to help dining businesses operate safely amid the COVID-19 issues. So kung gusto mo pumunta ng restaurant, like June 15, sabi ni DTI Secretary kanina, during the launching of Pinas Muna Tayo media launch, sinabi niya by June 15, all the restaurant already can operate as much as 30%. So 30% na taong makakapasok doon. And the good thing about Safe Pass is you can already do scheduling, kailan ka darating, etc. And you can be part of this if you are a DOT accredited restaurant. So yun yung good thing. That's why right now, Sir Barbie and Sir Mike, we are having exodus of a lot of restaurants application already because of this particular facility, because this is good for the contact tracing. You know, the only way to combat the pandemic is to test, trace, and treat the COVID-19 suspected infected individuals. So this particular aspect of tracing has become a challenge to the government, and this particular facility, which is a mobile app, can provide additional aid to the government in terms of tracing. What if in that particular restaurant may nag-positive at kumain ka din doon? So you will be easily notified by this particular. So this will, in effect, boost confidence to our consumers that it's already okay to go out. But you know, we have to make sure that we have all the safety protocols in place, especially our alcohol, our face mask. You are compelled to use a face mask whenever you leave your household. So let's proceed. That's why we issued also the supplementary advisories for our secondary establishments, such as the restaurants, for how to actually accredit. And just run through, maybe we can discuss this later on, the new normal, the frequently asked questions, like, if tatlo kayo, pwede ba kayo sa hotel? Tatlo kayong tao. Basically, I'm sorry, but per guidelines is maximum of 2 to ensure the safety and the health protocols are established. And we could just run through on that later on. And then, for instance, buffets is highly discouraged. So wala yan, wala muna yan. So yun. And then, can we go, yeah, next please. Just go up, please. So basically, we have a lot of issuances already. The more important challenge right now is we are able to get the message across the stakeholders and our general public. And in fact, on Tuesday, we're conducting a forum for all our accommodation establishments also, so that we can fully digest and, you know, explain the implementing guidelines in the operations of covered accommodation establishments. What are these establishments? These are the hotels, the motels, the pension house, the mabuhay accommodations. Airbnb can fall under mabuhay accommodations, and homestays if you are in the provinces. So basically, all of that we're going to discuss it on Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and you can view it on our Facebook page on Department of Tourism Metro Manila. And what's more inspiring right now, Sir Barbie and Sir Mike, is that Forbes released an article last week which says that after this pandemic, Philippines is one of the 7 countries that has a potential to become a major tourist destination in post-COVID world. No? So under the new normal sphere of things, we anticipate a very good tourism business for all of our stakeholders. So, but for now, there's that we have to sacrifice. I know we are struggling. All of us are struggling, not just the tourism sector, but the message of the president is that we stay at home. We ensure that if we are not allowed to go out, then we do not go out. And if you don't have business outside your house, and if you have very limited importance of leaving your household, then please stay at home as we continue to battle this. Because one day soon, we will have to travel as one again. And as the Secretary of Tourism would always say, that we are reopening the tourism sector, but slowly but surely. It's very important. We have to be mindful. You know, most important learnings that we all Filipinos must possess is that we have to be more responsible individuals, more than ever. Because whenever we go outside of our houses, there's already a responsibility not just to yourself, but to your fellow Filipino, to your fellow neighbors, and to whoever you are with in a particular space, particular location right now. So it's very important that we have our alcohol all the time. It's very simple. You just have, simple lang po, muda-muda lang po. We just have to, you know, alcohol every now and then. We have to make sure that we have all of this, and we have our face mask whenever we go out. And you know, by the time we are already ready and we are declared that we are MGCQ in Metro Manila, then we can already go out, and the hotels can already operate by 50%. The restaurants are able to operate by 30%. and we can already experience and go back to we have to be we are able to go and visit our different places we want to go. Today, Sir Barbie and Sir Mike, we are launching this together with the private sector, the Pinas Muna Tayo campaign. It's very timely because it's 122nd Independence Day celebration. That's why I'm actually wearing my camiseta here, if you can see. So I had to make sure that I'm in my Filipino attire because we celebrate not just our 122nd, but we launched already today the Pinas Muna Tayo. What is this campaign? It's very simple. Whenever we need to buy something, make sure we buy Filipino made. Whenever we want to travel and we are thinking of traveling abroad, then let's travel here first in the Philippines. Because Pinas Muna Tayo, we have to spend our money in the country para all the economic activities of all the savings we've had over the past 3 months, iikot sa ating bansa, and we can already funnel in the recovery of our economy. So if you can see your screen kanina, may post si Secretary Berna, and of course, I'd like to mention the entrepreneur who initiated this Pinas Muna Tayo campaign is Mr. Kingston Sean, and I'd like to thank our different DOT stakeholders who have been very supportive also, and of course the Association of Tourism Officers of the Philippines. If you can see the hashtag Pinas Muna Tayo, if you will visit that, my God, you will see a lot of beautiful spots across the country because lahat po sila, they are all like mga tourism officers as far as Iloilo, Mindanao, Davao, Jensen, and as far as north like Pangasinan, Iloilo with RD Jeff there spearheading this also. We can just see so much beauty and we continue to excite everyone to travel. But for now, we have to stay home, especially here in Metro Manila, and we will soon travel again in the future. And with that, I'm sorry it has been quite long and lengthy with my opening presentation. I hope I was able to give you a perspective on what has been made and what has been undertaken by your Department of Tourism National Capital Region under the guidance of our Secretary Berna, and our Sector Head under Secretary Art Bongkato. Thank you.
R. Maquiling. Very informative and
ang ganda. Oh.
Yes, napakaganda.
Thank you.
Napakaraming sinabi ni sinabi ni Director RR at it paints a very hopeful picture for all of us. Ika nga, para tayo nga dito kasamang Mike parang pag nilagdat ka, syempre excited tayo na bumalik tayo sa normal siya. Pero bago tayo bumalik dyan, siguraduhin natin hindi tayo mabibinat. Dahil yung binat, mas malalayan, di ba?
Yes.
O, tapos yung sinabi ni RR kanina, sa madami niyang binigay na magandang balita, stimulus package at all, isa pinakamaganda kong narinig doon, malapit na magbuka sa mga restaurant, at least 30% of their capacity papayagan na. Kaya, Mike, kumanda ka. Malapit na tayo i-blow out ni Director RR.
But definitely, I will make sure that the very first person I'll invite is kayo yun.
Yes, thank you, RR. Aasahan namin yan, ha?
Of course.
Handa ka na. Sige. Yun ang balita po mga kapatid, mga kasama at sa mga kababayan tungkol po sa National Capital Region na siya po naman pinamumunuan ng ating kamagiting na Director ng Department of Tourism, na si Director Woodrow R. Maquiling. Dumako naman tayo medyo malapit-lapit lang sa bandang norte lang ng konti ng Metro Manila. Diyan naman po tayo sa Region 3. Kamustahin natin ang kalagayan dyan, ano mga ginagawa natin dyan, at ano ang ating hinaharap para sa turismo sa Region 3 ng ating bansa. We'll give the floor now, Mike, kay Director Carolina Uy. Director Uy, good afternoon.
Take the floor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting me for today's episode of Tourismo TV. First, allow me to share with you some updates on tourism in Central Luzon during this time of pandemic. But before that, let us backtrack on the tourist arrivals before COVID-19. Sa tourist arrivals po ng Central Luzon. Can we please show the slides? Do we have the slides? Okay. So, on your screen, can we have the second slide, please? So on your screen are our top 10 foreign markets for 2018. And when we had 4.49 million tourist arrivals in the region. And then on December 31st of 2019, Clark International Airport has already received its 4 millionth passenger. For 2019, our tourist arrivals, we are definitely expecting more, as this figure does not yet include tourist arrivals from our from the other provinces, considering that last year we have hosted big events such as the 30th Southeast Asian Games. And then on the next slide, allow me to begin with a quick run on the product portfolio of Central Luzon. These are what we offer to our tourists and the best of what we have. Okay, for sun and beach, we offer sun and beach tourism, as we have beautiful beaches and coves from the province of Aurora in the east and to Bataan and Zambales in the west. You see, Region 3, Central Luzon, is the only region that encompasses from the east to west. Aurora province in the east, Zambales in the west. So from east to west, you will experience nothing but the best. For health and wellness and retirement, the region has state-of-the-art centers for healthcare and medical services, like the Medical City in Clark, and the relaxation and facilities perfect for tourists seeking health, wellness, and retirement. And then recently, the Jose B. Lingad Memorial General Hospital was the recipient of the $2.5 million US dollar grant from the Asian Development Bank to set up a pandemic subnational reference laboratory, which will ramp up the country's testing capacity by an additional 3,000 tests daily. Okay, the next slide, please. For our nature-based tourism, Central Luzon is also rich in natural resources, and we continue to come up with programs not only to promote our ecotourism sites, but to also conserve and protect them. As for our cultural and heritage tourism, our numerous historical and religious sites, as well as our festivals, help establish our image and cultural identity. For leisure and entertainment tourism, for those seeking leisure and entertainment, we have theme parks, casinos, shopping centers, and sports facilities to cater to their interests. Of course, for our culinary tourism, we are promoting gastronomy in the region, especially in the province of Pampanga, as we are home to some of the finest chefs and recipes in the country. With regards to agri-farm tourism, culinaria tours combined with rural immersion such as rice planting and fruit picking give tourists a unique experience. And recently, we have been promoting Ino or wine tourism in some areas of Zambales and Nueva Ecija. For our cruise and nautical tourism, you see Subic Bay Freeport Zone since 2018. was declared as a port of call, and it has been tagged as the next cruise ship playground in Asia. However, because of the pandemic, cruise arrivals have been canceled. So the indirect income from cruise tourism earned last year in Subic and its neighboring communities are at an estimated 124 million pesos. And we truly consider this as a great loss for the economy of Region 3. For our diving and marine sports tourism to continue, just last year, the Philippines was awarded as the best diving destination by the World Travel Awards 2019. And I am proud to say that our region, especially the province of Aurora, wherein we have identified at least 4 new dive sites, not to mention our dive sites in Subic Bay and in Zambales. I am proud to say that our region is also beaming with beautiful dive spots frequented even by international divers. As for education tourism, we are also a destination for education tourism, having world-class schools that can compete globally. As for MICE tourism, lastly, our MICE tourism, the DOT Region 3 has prioritized marketing and promotions of our MICE facilities, especially in Clark and Subic Bay, taking advantage of the international gateway. You see, RD Woodrow and I have one thing in common. Both of us have international gateways. We were looking forward to this year, as this year marks the opening of phase 1 of the new terminal building in Clark International Airport, which has a capacity of 12 million per annum, 12 million passengers. So big events were also canceled. After the SEA Games last year, we were supposed to host the 2020 ASEAN Para Games during the first quarter of this year. With regards to the projected losses due to COVID-19 and the implementation of ECQ, NEDA Region 3 has shared during one of our meetings the projected losses brought about by our current situation, and the tourism industry of Region 3 is projected to lose 5.2 billion worth of revenues. Other subsectors are also at risk. So there you can see sa Region 3 po, in terms of the losses in the transportation sector, we have an estimated amount of 1 billion? Sorry, 1,656,504. And sa agriculture, hunting, forestry, and fishing, we have estimated losses in the amount of 1,488,307. Sorry, 1,488,307,731. So medyo na ano po ako sa figures. And then when it comes to our real estate sector, renting and business activities, so ayan po ang estimated losses natin in Region 3, amounting to 25,344,382,583. And then sa construction sector po, ang estimated losses natin in Central Luzon amounts to 32,977,284,364. And sa manufacturing sector po, our estimated losses is in the amount of 115,446,169,251. Okay, so given the current situation, it is truly saddening to see the adverse effects and impact of COVID-19, especially to our industry. But even so, the safety and wellness of our stakeholders is our top priority. So the government has taken actions in order to mitigate the spread of the virus. So one of which is the implementation of community quarantine. Currently, the entire Central Luzon is placed under General Community Quarantine or GCQ, and we would like to cite that the province of Aurora, among the 7 provinces and 2 Freeport zones, the province of Aurora has been COVID-free ever since. So 0 case po tayo sa province of Aurora. And because of the quarantine, there were flight cancellations and travel restrictions, which left our tourists as well as our fellow countrymen stranded. So we have assisted, tama po si RD Woodrow kanina, in saying that ever since the implementation of the ECQ, the lockdown, kami po sa DOT region, lahat po ng regional offices actually, we had sleepless nights, never stop po, we never stop assisting locally stranded individuals, including our stranded OFWs, stranded foreign tourists. And from there, we have assisted dito po sa Central Luzon. Since the implementation of the ECQ, we have assisted 4,881 foreign tourists through land transfer inquiries and bookings, phone calls, email inquiries, assistance with sweeper and repatriation flights. And then 230 foreign tourists to date were successfully assisted in getting into their respective repatriation flights. For our locally stranded individuals on record to date, there are 142 remaining locally stranded individuals in Central Luzon. 140 LSIs are still stranded by land, and only 5 left stranded at the Mansion Hotel in Clark. And here you can see figure show the number of locally stranded individuals our office has assisted. 181 of which are recipients of the COVID-19 Tourist Care Plan of the Department of Tourism. Thank you to the Honorable Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat. And from May 1 up to May 30, we have warmly received 621 returning locally stranded individuals or local residents of Central Luzon and OFWs who came from sweeper flights and were assisted by the DOT Region 3 office by way of facilitating their land travel back home. And then, as for our remaining stranded OFWs in Central Luzon, to date, 157 OFWs have successfully returned to their respective provinces through the efforts of combined efforts of OWA, DCDA, and of course, the office's close coordination with the said agencies in monitoring their travel requirements and movements to catch their flight back home. So meanwhile, there are still 30 OFWs stranded and 10 overseas Filipinos in Central Luzon. With regards to the initiatives that were undertaken by the Office of the DOT Region 3, so here you can see these are the initiatives that our office have been undertaking, some of which have been mentioned earlier. The Department of Tourism Region 3 is the cluster lead for the management of returning overseas Filipinos and locally stranded individuals. And with the joint efforts from the OWA, Lipad Corporation, who manages Clark International Airport, and the seafarers manning agencies, repatriation flights for OFWs overseas Filipinos and seafarers have been arranged. Flashed on your screen is the schedule of repatriation flights. The initial schedule for the resumption of commercial flights in Clark. The Department of Tourism Region 3 is also a part of the one-stop shop. Kasama po kami sa composition, just like DOT NCR, providing assistance to all arriving passengers. So last June, we had 5,262. Last June 5, we had 262 OFWs and overseas Filipinos who arrived from Dubai, while last June 6, we had 345 seafarers who arrived from Vancouver. Upon arrival, these passengers have taken their RT-PCR tests as part of the protocols, and while waiting for the results, they will be staying at the identified hotel quarantine facilities. So, with the assistance accomplished in only 3 days, so take note po, 3 days and 2 nights lamang po sila nag-antay ang ating mga dumating na OFWs and OFs, mga seafarers. So, the Department of Health Secretary said that the IATF for the management of emerging infectious diseases is striving to make it as their standard processing period for other returning OFWs. This would not have been made possible without the collaboration of all the agencies involved. Lastly, with the assistance accomplished in only 3 days, so ayun po, pinakita namin sa inyo na it only took like, true to our commitment, it only took like 48 hours, and then all the results of their PCR tests were released, and now they're all home sweet home na po silang lahat. Okay, and those are some of the tourism updates in Central Luzon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Caroline.
Sa pamumuno ni Regional Director Caroline Uy. At well, tatanong ko muna, Director Carol, ang dami ng data na pinakita natin, pero kamusta kayo dyan sa Region 3 sa kasalukuyan? Under the MGCQ, are people free to walk around? Are people from Manila, from Metro Manila, are we allowed to go and visit now? Ano ba ang kalagayan?
Since pareho po yata kami ng NCR, I guess. We're both under GCQ, right? So, per my observation, I can see a limited number of transportation po. Though the offices are skeletal workforce po kami. Same with the offices po ng private companies. The government offices are continuously at your service, pero having a skeletal workforce din po. So, parang 3 times a week po nag-hold ang mga banks ng kanilang offices. And then, not allowed din po, just like in NCR, not allowed pa din po ang dine-in. So, puro take-out and deliveries through online. So, there are still restrictions.
So, okay pa rin. Ano pa rin tayo? Gearing up for the new normal. Papunta pa lang tayo.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Sir Mike, pakilala na natin susunod natin panelist.
Okay.
May mga exciting things going on Region 3 at isa to sa mga bagong development na uusbong dyan po sa Region 3 ng ating tourism.
Right, sige po. Well, dun sa presentation ni Ma'am Caroline kanina, no? She was saying about billions of peso losses, and a lot of businesses are, are on standby or in standstill. Pero meron naman po ang good news dito. Meron ding mga businesses na gustong magsimula. No? Gusto nila mag-open even after the GCQ or nandun na tayo sa MGCQ. They're just waiting for the go signal of DOT. They're just waiting for the go signal of IATF kung kailan sila makakapagsimula. And yeah, they are willing to start and kick and kickstart everything from the scratch. Ito po, ipapakilala na natin ang ating next presenter, si Mr. Ryan ng... Sorry, I lost my screen. Si
Is the
Mr.
managing
Ryan Guzman.
director.
Yeah. Mr. Ryan Guzman, Managing Director and Co-Owner of Gravity Ventures Philippines, Inc. na locator po ngayon dyan sa Subic. Please, Mr. Ryan Guzman.
Papasok.
Hi,
Ryan,
good
good
afternoon,
afternoon.
everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good
All right.
afternoon, Sir Michael, Sir Barbie, RD Caroline, and RD Woodrow. Good afternoon, and sa lahat mga nanonood, magandang hapon po. Happy Independence Day po.
All right,
Happy Independence
Ryan,
Day
siguro
too.
let's start with familiarize ourselves. Ano ba yung Gravity Ventures Pilipinas? At ano bang ginagawa nyo ngayon?
Well, Gravity Ventures Pilipinas Incorporated, we formed this company because we wanted to bring to uplift the lives of the Filipino people through bringing them, outdoor eco adventure activities and making them feel accomplished. So andyan po yung mga slides natin. So maybe I'll be able to give a lot more information about the company. So we're just a new company here in the Philippines, but we are actually very experienced in the industry. So lahat kami mga founders, very, very experienced. Dito sa industry, we're very diverse. So yung knowledge namin ay medyo 100 years, I guess, worth of knowledge. Hindi naman, siguro magagalit yung mga partners ko kasi ako 15 years pa lang ako sa industry. But anyway, so Gravity Ventures Filipinas is a company that aims to uplift the lives of others through delivering a world-class eco-adventure park. So we'll be building a park and provide the ultimate and most unforgettable family adventure experience dito sa Pilipinas. Because we are aiming for everybody to feel that excitement, that elation when you do something for the first time, when you don't think that you can or are able to do it, and then you're able to do it. When you're afraid but you still do it, yung feeling of accomplishment, yung sheer joy. So we want everybody to step out of their comfort zones, and live extraordinary. So that's our company right now. So next slide, please. Yeah, so our purpose is, like I said, we aim to make people step out of their comfort zones, out of their normal lives, diba? So we want everybody to learn to be comfortable outside of that comfort zone, to push their limits, and live to see yung payoff. So, yari, sasabihin nila na I can do this, and then in the end they'll scream out, yes, I actually did it. So this is the guiding purpose for our mission, to be able to inspire all kinds of people to take the leap, diba? And with this purpose and our mission guides our vision, na to create a venue, to create a premier, world-class, family-oriented eco-adventure park dito sa Pilipinas that will provide the ultimate weekend experience for the whole family, from your Todd venturers na tinatawag namin, to your thrill-seeking teens, to the very active parents, and to the game grandparents natin. So yun yung gusto naming dalhin dito sa Pilipinas. So why do we want to bring that to the Philippines? Because why not? Diba? We Filipinos are adventure-loving. We Filipinos, makakate yung mga talampakan natin, gusto natin laging lumalabas. So we always have plans for the weekend to get out of, the city, the normal life. Diba? So we want to bring this para meron kayong destination na pupuntahan sa Region 3, sa Subic, in particular, every weekend. Tapos doon matatry nyo yung mga activities na we are going to offer. So this park, if we could go to the next slide, will be the premier park na we dedicate to outdoor adventure activities. So imagine it's a theme park, but instead of those mechanical rides, we actually have outdoor eco adventure activities that will provide you the most amazing screams and laughter and stories, and most importantly memories for your family and for your friends, diba? So it will have um, different facilities that it would include um, a trail for running. For those who are trail runners, you'll have a nice uh, 5, 10, or 21K trail running there. Um, of course, may trail na tayo, so we'll bring in our mountain bike enthusiasts. Meron na kayong magandang trail na world class that will be designed by our partners who are very willing to help us out design a world class trail. Meron tayong rock climbing facility. Meron tayong ropes course, sorry, for kids and adults. We'll have an eco line, which is something that I'll be describing later if you're curious about that. A canopy walk, so that everybody, like I said, can enjoy nature, especially sa Subic na meron tayong hundreds of years old na trees, tapos protected area siya. So we'll be able to enjoy a walk among those trees. A giant swing, which is very, very exciting. And of course, the Philippines' first and only professional bungee jump facility. So that's the goal. So apart from that, we'll have dedicated areas that's especially made for everybody. So we have special areas for picnics, for camping, for a little nook where we can actually have a small chapel where you can pray before you jump, or do spend some quality time with between yourself and the higher being, so that um, you come up probably alive. You pray for that, your safety, and it's going to be for everybody, for your whole family, for the even the most daring barcadas. So yeah, let's go to the next slide. So like I said, it will host the Philippines' only professional bungee jumping facility. So this will actually be about a 55-meter tower. It will have a scenic elevator, and it will be a self-sustaining, environment-friendly, and minimal carbon footprint structure. Um, so it will have, of course, when you do a jump, it's always great that you do a water touch. So we'll have a pool downstairs, a safety pool. Now you can do a water touch, which is connected to an infinity pool. So people who are swimming in that pool can actually, or their family who are swimming in the pool, can actually watch people jumping. So of course, this is actually engineered and designed to bring the utmost safety, minimum risk, but the ultimate and most maximum experience out of everybody. We'll also have a triple giant swing, which will be which will include 3 people on the swing, and then you'll swoop down about 190 to 100 kilometers per hour towards the sea. So tatlo kayo magkakakabit, and then you'll be swinging from 45 or 46 meters from the ground. So sobrang saya nun for the whole family. Na yes, it will be also available for your little ones. Meron tayong mga ways for us to be able to do that. Yeah. The next one would be the eco line system. Para dun sa mga medyo extreme side ang bungee jumping and yung giant swing natin, we have this modern eco line system, meaning para siyang, imagine a rail around that goes around the indigenous forest, and then you'll be able to ride na para kang naka-zip line or naka-sit na position, as you can see on that photo there. And you go around trees, you go spiraling around trees. Ang maganda dito sa gagawin namin, dalawa ito na magkatabi, tapos each one would actually have could actually allow 2 passengers. So medyo maganda siya na family activity kasi pwede kayo mag-race around the forest. And then of course, for a little more subtle experience, we could actually we're actually putting up an adults and kids ropes course. for you to be able to challenge yourself kahit papan. Dito naman, iba siya, medyo mental and focus. Yung mental and focus na challenge ang binibigay nito. So, it'll give you excitement, tapos very, very safe, as with all our activities. Of course, we'll have professionals guiding you as well. Um, and next one, of course, like I said, we'll have something for our avid trail runners and for our mountain bikers. We'll have a nice world-class trail for you where you can actually have a really great experience. So we'll be putting that up. It will be designed by our partners who are Filipinos, who are local Filipino bike enthusiasts, who is a bike brand. So we'll be partnering up with them, and they'll be helping us out in designing those tracks. Tapos, of course, part of that is pag may tracks, syempre ayaw natin mawala yung mga tao habang nag-weave sila in and out of that forest. So as part of our advocacy also, as a company, we are going to be hiring the local indigenous people because this is something that's very close to my heart. So these are local indigenous people, or IPs as we call them, will be helping out in being guides in that forest. So as you run, they'll be able to guide you to where to go and maybe even point out, some nice trees for you to be able to know what those trees are and whatnot. Tapos, of course, para hindi rin kayo mawala. Diba? So, we'll also have an outdoor wall climb that we'll be putting up over there. Another thing would be trying to help out the IP community. If you could go back to the other side. Yes, thank you. Excuse me. So we aim to help out the IP community also by bringing in a jungle survival camp where you can actually spend a couple of nights or a night in the jungle with these guides, and they help you out with survival skills. They train you to identify trees, to be able to cook with the existing utensils or natural resources around you. So yun yung isa sa mga pinaka-okay na gustong-gusto ko na I can't wait to really start because it will actually really help our IP community. We also will have an outdoor picnic area, excuse me, and like I said, we'll be putting up a chapel. Personally, it's a thank you. Na we are given an opportunity to be able to do this and put this up and hopefully make it tangible in the next year or so. So like I said, para kay game na game grandparents, no, who don't want to, or those who don't want to do any of the activities, we have a canopy walk that will be putting up, which will be over the indigenous forest area. So dito, you can enjoy being one with nature, seeing all the animals that's available in the forest area. Excuse me. And dito rin, makikita nyo kasi it will be alongside those that rail ride that we wanted to put up. So makikita nyo yung family nyo na nag-enjoy doon, or you can take videos of them, you can scream with them if you want to. And of course, because it's beachside, we have a big area, a huge area to play around with. We will have areas for you to chill, to relax, to even watch the sunset. Imagine nyo, you're walking by that beach, tapos biglan nanonood kayo ng sunset. Very, very peaceful. Well, not really peaceful apart from the screaming that you'll hear from all the people who are doing the other activities, but it's a really, really surreal experience to be able to watch the sunset, to enjoy the sunset, diba? So there's a place for you to do that as well. So yeah, so that's the company, and we hope you guys are ready to leap with us, and excuse me, you're able to, through doing all these things, inspire. We are able to inspire you to actually live extraordinary. So yeah, that's a brief about our company, and I understand that it's a very tough time in the industry right now. But like all of us, we are very, very hopeful, because I
Yeah.
know that when we open, I say when because it's just a matter of time, di ba? When we open, um, it's an opportunity for us to actually move into a. We always say new normal, but for me, it's actually a better normal.
A better normal.
Better
Because
normal.
yes,
Okay.
because
It's one way of actually saying it. Better normal.
yeah, exactly. Because through this, we're able to assess
Better ourselves.
ourselves, realign, develop and innovate. Discover ways that will shape yung future natin as the Philippines itself and as an industry. So
Correct.
hopefully we'll be able to do that, and because of that, we are able to move into a more sustainable, more environmentally conscious, more purpose-driven, more open-minded and outward and forward-looking industry, diba? So that's why for me it's actually a better normal that we're looking forward to. So
All
yeah,
right.
Interesting.
All right.
partner.
Maraming
Yeah.
salamat. Thank you very much.
Gusto lang namin na
Narinig mo ba
Yeah.
yung sinabi niya kanina? A lot of actually activities that are, available on the
Oo.
Yeah. Alam mo, ang
I like-
pinag-iisipan ko lang kanina, magkano kaya yung cost ng mga to?
Yeah. One good question.
Yes.
How affordable is it? Pero ang maganda rito, the way Ryan was describing it, ngayon pa lang, well, Live Extraordinary, doon pa lang sa pinakita ni Ryan, hiningal na ako, partner.
Talagang
Alam mo,
pupuntahan natin to.
pero tama yung sinabi ni Ryan kanina, iba yung thrill nung yung kala mo, you think you could not do it and then you find out you
Yeah.
could do what seemed to be impossible. Na-experience ko yun last summer sa Siquijor. Sa Siquijor, pinapatalon ako doon sa cliff. Ha?
Oh.
Sabi ko, nako, hindi ko kayang gawin yan. Hindi ko nga nagawa. Umatras na ako. Hindi ko nga nagawa.
Sir,
But anyway.
when we open, you'll have a slot for
Okay.
you to be able to jump with us.
Ryan,
Di ba, Michael?
We
Dadalhin
shall-
natin siya.
Di, pero
Kasama kami ni Woodrow, kasama kami ni Caroline, we'll go there.
Definitely.
one
Everybody's
quick
invited.
question. Ryan, one quick question. Saan bahagi ito ng Subic itatayo?
Sir, we're still finalizing with Subic kasi before the lockdown, we were actually in talks with Subic already.
Okay.
We haven't really finalized everything and where it is, pero meron kaming potential area na napupuntahan. Medyo maganda yung area. It's beachfront, tapos may forest sa likod. Medyo malaking
Perfect.
area din siya, about 10 hectares or so. So it's free. It's an area where you can actually roam around for free and just enjoy.
Perfect
kung
pa
ayaw niyo
yan.
gawin yung
Perfect for your specifications. But would you have a
Yeah.
projection also, Ryan, of how many jobs are you going to be able to create from this?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. The jobs that all back office pa lang, there will be about 50 plus jobs. That's just the back office, and then of course dun sa site itself,
Operation.
sa operation side natin, will be
Okay.
able to give jobs to not only the locals from Region 3, from NCR, but also
Galing.
like I said, which is something that's close to my heart, yung mga IPs natin will be able to help.
So,
Yeah.
Alam mo yung mga ITAS na yan, no? They've incorporated that in a lot of tourism projects and
Yes.
programs in Subic. Pero maganda to, it's taking it a notch higher. Di ba?
Exactly.
Yung usual, maganda yun, yung nature trip. Magluluto ka ng bigas sa kawayan,
Exactly.
how to gather
Exactly.
water. Pero ito medyo
Mag-fishing kayo
high-tech.
sa streams.
Pero ito, meron pang mga structures sa kasama. Ha? Maganda.
Yes.
Maganda.
Yeah.
All right. And usisahin natin yan further as we
Yes.
go back later to Ryan, how it incorporates into the tourism in Region 3, particularly at the SBMA. And kanina, tinanong mo, partner Mike, yung magkano kaya? Siguro, tama yun. Karamihan sa ating mga biyahero, budget conscious, ha? Hindi ko alam kung sasaklawin or it will be covered by the discussion of our next speaker because he's coming from a project that's called Byaheng Budgetarian-Project 81. I'm not so sure if it will cover that, but yeah, let's get our next panelist in and have his presentation. Mike?
Hi, Mohamed. Yes,
Hi.
he's here.
Yeah, I would like to
Is
thank you
the
again for inviting me.
yeah, Mohamed Luhushan is the administrator of Travel Philippines, Byaheng Budgetarian Project 81. And as we welcome you, Mohamed,
Thank
would you
you.
tell us first what Byaheng Budgetarian or what Travel Philippines is all about?
Okay, thank you for having me. Travel Philippines Byaheng Budgetarian Project 81 is a Facebook group with almost 500 members, which most of the travel agencies and join us from different areas for the tours in already the group. So
This is
this
500,000.
yeah, almost 500,000, which is a big platform for many travelers to find the best deal, best airfare, best tours to join almost every weekend when everything was back to normal, became normal. So actually, tourism is one of the hardest hit industry in the Philippines in this pandemic. To bounce back from the crisis when it goes to MGCQ, travelers choosing local tourism, then international travel is something that will really help the local tourism in Philippines. As many people and establishments involved in tourism industry uh, in different locations and destinations depend on tourism for their income. So all working in the hotels, resorts, local tour guides, boatsmen, drivers, souvenir shops, vendors, restaurants in many locations, and etc. So I think it will help them all to get over from the hard time they was going through this pandemic and get back to normal life again. If we choose local travel destinations, then choosing the international travel in future. And I already had conversations with many travel agencies and tour operators. They are ready and waiting for a day that they can get back in the travel business. And I advise to follow the protocol of Department of Health once the go sign is given actually. So I would like to tell all travelers choosing local travel agencies to book resorts, hotels, tours, um, rather than using the international online website or applications that will help to build up the economy and actually for the travel agencies and tour operators here locally in Philippines. Um, Also, right now there are a lot of airfare promos going on. So in our Facebook group, you can see a lot of promos going on. And actually, especially now is the LNC promo flight to book now and travel later. I would advise to choose local travel agencies to book your travel air ticket. Also, very important that choosing travel agency is registered and check if they are registered in BIR, which as the travel agency is registered in BIR will be paying tax, which will help the government on economic growth in future. Actually, in our group, Byaheng Budgetarian Project 81, all the viewers, if you are viewing it or anyone who love to travel can join our Facebook group, which will help you to find the best travel deals for your future travel. And I hope it's gonna be local destinations here in Philippines, which, as I said before, it will help a lot of people who is involved in tourism industry. And not only airline, but there are many hotels, resorts offers also posted in our group every day. So it will help the local travel agencies and tour operators to build their business and get back to normal, as we call it, normal actually, when everything is ready to go to give the go sign. So I would like to thank you again for inviting me for this, especially Tourismo,
Thank you.
and I'm looking forward for more we can do about this crisis as we are tackling to go on and have a better tourism here and get back
Yes.
on our own feet.
Yes, thank you, Mohamed. No, that's the reason, but that's precisely the reason why Turismo TV is here and Turismo as an application is here to help the country and to help the whole tourism industry bounce back from this pandemic.
Yeah, actually, that's very important. As I said before, choosing the local applications or local travel agencies rather than using the online websites or other application which is not local.
Foreign, yeah.
Yeah, foreign applications, which actually the money you're paying will be going outside of the country as I talk.
Well, what are you suggesting? What local apps are you suggesting? Are you recommending, Mohamed? I'm sure there are plenty, but what are the most?
Yeah, actually, there are local applications which are created by the local website, mostly websites, and I think Tourismo is also getting there already.
Yeah.
With the
Okay.
application. So
Yes,
I
of
work for it.
course.
There's something really good, and happy to know that we need more
Okay.
applications locally here in Philippines. I think it will help a lot in future.
Mohammed, I don't know if I got you right. You did say that airfare bookings on promotions are already available now. Is that correct?
There is a piece of air even now. It's going on even today.
Book now, fly later.
Book now, fly later. It's from next week.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
a lot of promos going on for a lot of destinations here in Philippines that you can book today in Cebu Pacific.
How true is it, Mohammed, that some are speculating that because of the protocols, the new protocols, airfares would be increasing because we can only occupy a certain percentage of the capacity of airplanes. Is there truth to that?
If it's right now, I think to fly right now, I think the fare is a little bit high because actually they have to keep social distancing in the flight as well. So you cannot fill the flight fully with many passengers. So, but I think they have plans for the future travel, which they are going on, and they want to boost the local tourism here in Philippines. So,
so it's going to find its right level.
Yeah, it's going to find the right level, and things are falling to the right place slowly.
We certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
okay.
As for right now, the piece of air is going on. Can visit our Facebook group, and many travel agencies are already posting the offers in the group. So just visit and contact them, which will help you to get a good deal.
So it looks like we have a very, very bright and potentially very promising future for Philippine tourism. Nobody's saying nobody can write us off. Of course, tourism is one of the biggest, if not the biggest industry that was hit by this pandemic.
Yeah,
and that's what everybody's talking about. We are going to bounce back.
Yeah. That's one of the hardest hit industry in the Philippines. So hopefully, with all these things, we can bounce back hard.
All right. Okay. I think we have some questions that have been posted already in the chat rooms. We'll try to pick some of that up. And going back to our panelists, we have Director RR, we have Director Carol, and Ryan and Mohamed here. And we're open for questions, folks. And we can also watch Turismo TV even in the future. We're having this practically every Friday afternoon. President Mike, confirm natin yun, no? Every Friday afternoon tayo, no?
Yes. Yes,
and
every Friday afternoon. Actually, 7th episode.
7th episode na tayo. All right. O, tatanungin ko lang tanong ko lang siguro si Director RR tsaka si Carol. yung natin dalawang magiting na mga director. Kanina may present kayong figures, more or less, I don't know if I got that precisely right, but you said we're down by 55% compared to our projection or last year's figures. Pero 55%. May natitira pang 45%. But when the pandemic hit us in March 17, ang pagkakaalam ko, lahat ng travels were ground to a halt, zero. Wala nang pumapasok. Can you clarify that?
Sir, thank you, Sir Barbie. That's negative 55%.
Negative.
Negative.
So it's not down by 55%, but it's decreased by negative 55. Hindi lang siya decreased by beyond pa. So based on the same period of last year. If you talk about
Same period.
January of April of 2009 and January of April of 2020, that's the decrease. So negative talaga because there's no travel. There's completely no travel at all.
So walang natira. In other words. But what about the balance of what was kanino bang aso yun? Okay. Okay, all right. Pero what about yung January to March? How are we doing at that time?
No, January to and February. Okay tayo. In fact, may konti tayong increase of the same period of last year. I cannot just give the exact figures, but we were doing good in January and February. But when we hit the March, April, May, up to today, then that's already of course, the overall a decrease already by negative 55%. But we still have the secretary already said that for 2020. Likely, in all likelihood, mahirap ang international travel. And so that leads us to domestic travel. So we will be pushing on us, every Filipino, that we make sure that we travel to Subic. We go to the camp of Ryan Guzman. We make sure that RD Carol is able to issue immediately the certificate.
I'll be waiting for that.
And we're inviting you, Sir Barbie, Sir Michael, Sir Mohamed. We're inviting you all. And Brian, I'm very much excited upon hearing what you've said. You have a project pala in Subic Bay in my region.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
You cannot open your facility until the regional director of Region 3 issues the certificate to operate. So make sure that she issues it now. Sabi ko, immediately para punta na tayo bukas.
Ipa-commit na natin si Director Carol ngayon pa lang. Pero sabi ko nga kay Rocky kanina, in the back room before we started the show, sabi ko, it might have looked bad as far as timing was concerned, but for all intents and purposes, it's a blessing. I mean, like, you put all the paperwork in place, hindi pa kayo namumuhunan, hindi pa kayo nagbubukas, tumama itong pandemic. If you were caught right in the middle of that, it would have been a big problem for you. Diba?
Exactly.
And ngayon, you also find, Ryan, that the tourism industry, and at least including the bureaucracy, is very friendly, welcoming side to. I'm sure si Attorney Ami Esma would be excited to get this going as well. Dahil ano rin yan adventurous din yan si Attorney Ami, di ba?
From what I've heard, yes sir. Isa daw siya sa mga unang tatalon
Yun naman pala.
I may ask Sir Ryan? Yeah, if I may ask Ryan, when is your target month to open this adventure site?
Well, it takes about a year or so to develop everything, to train people and to be able to make sure that the safety measures, especially right now, the renewed safety measures are in. So it takes about a year or so. Before, we were targeting it for summer next year sana. Kaya lang, of course, meron tayong medyo mga delays because of this. But the great thing about it is, like sabi ni Sir Barbie, is, all the paperwork is in place and we're able to actually put all the ducks in the line, kumbaga, para pag
Okay.
nabigyan ng go signal, we just hit the ground running and we just start the construction and
Okay.
developing the site.
So,
So
Okay.
hopefully
Yes.
a few months delay lang, pero yeah.
Caroline.
Ryan, may lodging ba to? Meron ba billeting? Are you having a hotel here as well?
Wala pong hotel,
Wala.
pero that's actually, we were planning to do that, but that's probably in a later phase pa.
Later phase. Okay. Carol, question. National picture, we've really gone down. Sabi nga ni, ang figures ni RR is 55% negative. I'm sure it's not going to be far from the figures of Region 3. But do you think by the end of the year, will you be able to recoup all these losses? I mean, with domestic, tama, suporta mo lang dyan, domestic tourism. Siyempre, yung international, wary pa yan. Watch and, ano pa yan, di ba? Wait and see pa. Makaka-recover ba tayo?
Not really. I cannot say makaka-recover po 100%, but for sure, in terms of domestic travel, sir, siguro naman po it will gradually, slowly be back to normal. Yun pong ating regional anyway, complete naman po ang air connectivity ng lahat ng region sa Clark International Airport. So madali lang po talagang i-promote ang inter-regional travel actually. And we're really hoping,
Kasi mostly by land naman yung inyong travel di ba? Kaya accessible.
Yes, by land, because you can travel from Central Luzon. Actually, is the first region that you will hit sa north coming from Metro Manila, and you can travel by land seamlessly. We have all the state-of-the-art expressways, the NLEX, the CLEX. The latest one is the CLEX, of course, and then the TPLEX, SCTEX. So nasa amin po lahat ng.
So welcome.
Carol, pwede rin by sea. Pwede rin by water sa inyo, di ba?
Yes, we have the Subic Bay Port. And talagang thank you, Sir Ryan. I'm very happy talaga. Thank you for choosing Subic Bay to be the site of your project.
Well,
Salamat.
it's a no-brainer po di ba? Subic is actually, the top destination in Central Luzon and actually one of the top destinations in the Philippines. Yeah. Very, very.
Meron lang ako i-share, no, especially sa ating mga regional directors and also sa mga business o sa mga stakeholders. This morning we had this discussion with the company or tech company in Singapore, and they were commissioned by Dubai or by UAE. And I just want to give you this the plan of the Dubai and UAE countries. Baka po pwede nating i-implement dito sa Pilipinas, no? Ang ginagawa nila ngayon is they're promoting or they're telling their people to land travel the whole Dubai and the whole UAE countries, because they think that's the only way that they can revive the economy. As you know, some UAE countries are highly dependent on tourism. So, kung wala namang international tourism, imagine they have 1,800 kilometers of road. 1,800 kilometers of road. Dito sa NCR and some other countries, hindi pa natin alam, pero I think from Metro Manila to up north Batanes, that's only about 400 kilometers. So sila 1,800 kilometers, and they're telling their constituents or their people, travel locally by road, by land. And then, somehow we will give you some kind of perks and benefits, because they think that's the only way that they can revive the tourism and also jumpstart the economy, because people will be spending on the road, no? Pagpunta nila ng Baguio, pagpunta nila ng Batanes, etc. Encourage them to travel by land.
Tama. O siguro, Michael, tanong natin sa tourism. Do we have plans of incentivizing or motivating local tourism, tax incentives or whatever? Meron ba ganun sa planos sa pipeline, RR, Carol?
Yeah, RR.
Sir Barbie, ganito. You're talking about tax. Yung BIR po, nagre-remind sa atin extended income tax already. Wala nang deadline after this weekend pa. I think this weekend na ata eh. So, kasi they have extended na yan. And in fact, they have made sure that it's easy. Wherever you are right now, you can pay. Kahit yung business mo nasa Metro Manila, but you're currently in Subic right now, you can easily pay there to here. So, talking about device travel, sir, as of this point, these are part and parcel of the discussion of the national tourism organizations and the department that will be included in the TRRP. So let's be hopeful. I'd like to make mention, sir, while everything seems gloomy, no? It seems gloomy, but you know what? Tourism is, for a fact, was the first to be hit by this pandemic. But looking back, our tourism industry has been very resilient in so many challenges in the past, and there's no doubt that we can still pick up slowly but surely and gradually. We should be able to pick up as long as we are able to harness all the support from every Filipino. That's the reason why, sir, I'd like to join everybody to support the Pinas Muna Tayo campaign, because this is advocacy.
Full support RDRR.
We will support
everybody to spend, to travel, the very backbone of the tourism industry is our domestic travelers. There was as much as 55 million Filipinos traveling across regions just to make sure that we see the beauty of the Philippines. Now, this is the very reason why we have to focus further and push further on domestic travelers. We have to, I think all the rates are gone down right now, but more importantly, traveling is we have to ensure the safety protocols of the Department of Health are complied with. So it's like this. When we are so worried about all of this, the gloomy climate, but nonetheless, the very unique character of a Filipino, we have gone through so many challenges. This is something, we have gone so many worse than all of this also. So I think, Sir Barbie, saksi yan, sa ilang dekada,
Pero pinapatanda mo naman ako.
Ilang dekada kasi.
Totoo yan.
So
we are very resilient,
and we will continue to move forward, and we will bounce back. No doubt.
We are definitely a very resilient people. Pero ang tatanong ko lang, siyempre lagi ang interest ng tao, WIIFM. Anybody can answer, no? Pero what's in it for me? Mohamed, you're promoting travel. Ryan, you're inviting people to the adventure thing. Director, yung dalawang director natin, siyempre you want to promote tourism. Ako yung biyahero. Siyempre, dalawang reason yan. Una, wary pa ako. I still want to find out if everything is really safe already. Pangalawa, budget. Kakagaling ko lang doon sa ECQ. Wala akong kinita. Kung ano man meron ako ngayon, I want to conserve my cash. How will you entice me? Na sige, I'll tell you pala, Alara, personal note to I was supposed to go to the Holy Land noong March. Alam mo yan, di ba? Ngayon, I was supposed to have let the agent keep my money first. Sabi ko, as soon as it's viable, I'll take the trip. Okay? Yesterday, I got my refund because I said, kung magta-travel man ako in the next 2 years, I will stay domestic. Dito ko nagagastos. Yung Pinas muna. Ganun muna mga kapatid. Yung mga may plano mag-abroad. Alam ko maganda yan, exciting yan. Pero wag mo na. Dito pa lang sa Pilipinas, ang dami nyo nang pupuntahan. Isang incentive yan. Ngayon, makakamura ka ba? Kaya mo bang ma-afford? Safe ba? How can you convince us travelers na go travel within the country? Anyone? Carol, you want to start?
Yeah. Sir Barbie, pwede ba kay Mohamed natin itanong yan? Kasi meron siyang 400, almost 500,000 groups. Yes.
Okay. I think we can really convince Filipinos to travel locally here in future, because as everyone can see that how our life was in this pandemic, and to get over and to be back in our normal life. I think there's many people who have been affected in travel and tourism industry. So I think, and everyone, all the travelers understands, as I have seen, that everyone who is involved in travel industry is going through a really hard time. everyone,
tough
as I
times.
mentioned before. Yeah, as I mentioned before, like boatsmen, local tour guides, all the staff working in the resorts, hotels. So I think there's understanding with the Filipino travelers, and they understand that they need to go on local destinations rather than choosing international destinations in future, to bounce back, as I've said before, to bounce back in travel and tourism here in Philippines.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yep,
Sir
do
Barbie,
your part.
can I interject?
Yep.
Yeah, can I interject?
Yep.
Actually, I've talked to Mohamed, no, last night, and we had this result from a survey that one of the major hindrances or major source of fear of the travelers, we're trying to build confidence here to our travelers to travel locally. But one of the major source of fear for them to travel locally is media.
Media. Bakit?
Yeah, the things that they, every day, according to them, every day they can hear, all they
Ah,
can hear, they can see from their television is COVID patients, COVID infected people
nananakot.
going up. Yeah, nananakot. This is maybe a call to our fellow media people. One of the best economic mover or prime mover in economy, if we want to our country to bounce back from this pandemic, is let's help DOT and other government agencies to promote tourism, and let's not scare the people on traveling. Media is a very potent source of information, and also a very potent source of destroying an industry. DOT
Good.
has been working very hard, spending billions of peso or maybe dollars already for the longest time, for 4 years, for 5 years, for even actually 10 years. And media can destroy that in just one news.
True. True.
Just
Ganun
one news.
ka-powerful yan.
Yes.
Tama yan.
I
So,
hope
ang
the
panawagan natin,
cooperate.
yung media participate naman in helping recover, in helping us put ourselves. It's not even, we're not even asking media to sugarcoat things. I mean, say it as it is. Pero wag nyo nang sensationalize. Wag nyo nang palalain yung sitwasyon than it is, di ba? Kasi hindi naman natin pwede sabihin sa media, tago nyo yung masama, palabasan nyo lang maganda. Kung naano lang natin, just be fair. Okay, Arar?
Yeah.
How do we get people to travel?
Oh, well, I'd like to pick up also, sir, yung sinabi niya about the media. Well, I would like to thank, of course, the media, no? Kasi not naman in general, they're like,
Yes.
saying these bad things, but generally, there are disinformation in some platforms that they're pushing now. Because, we are in a political spectrum. So, given yan. But the good thing is, we continue to engage the media. We continue as the tourism sector, we continue to engage the media to help us really promote and to help us let the others see the beauty of the Philippines across the country. And ganito yung perspective ko with regards to the question of Sir Barbie. Parang ganito. Like, di ba pag may friend tayo mag-open ng business, like for instance, si Ryan, who opens his business. Pag friend ako sa kanya, pag friend ko siya, I will not ask for discount. I will
Support.
I will pay for the full amount. Kasi that's my way of developing a brand, developing a business. So with this particular, when your country is in a state of calamity, when all of the business are down, I would highly encourage people to pay more. Pay more
Yeah.
so that we can push more, we can make this economy move, and we can bounce back from where we left off, which we are doing very well. So I think more of this new normal should be more of a new perspective on how to see things. That every country is so precious in the Philippines right now that we have, these are premium items and these are premium destinations, and we need to spend for more pesos for our different destinations. Because this is the only reason.
Biyahe tayo. Biyahe tayo, pero kalimutan, isang tabi muna natin yung hilig natin sa TY.
Yes,
blowout.
That's the most important and the crucial, responsibility of every traveler. That all the investment people should return, and we in government we enable economic activities. So we make sure that yan lang one particular trade. Wag mo muna mag-thank you, wag na muna nang mag-TY. Let's pay. If sinabi ni Ryan na 500 yan, let's pay 500. Pag sinabi niya 450 yan, 450 tayo.
I agree.
Naalala ko yan. Naalala ko yan.
Yeah.
May sinabi sa akin yung lola ko noon eh. Sabi niya, yung mga malalaking tindahan, tawaran mo ng tawaran yan, baratin mo yan. Pero yung mga nandoon sa bangketa, huwag ka nang tatawad dyan, tulungan mo na mabuhay yan. Diba? Ganun lang yun eh.
What the government, that's correct. What the government can actually do in ensuring and enticing people to travel, it's like this. The very core of tourism has been affected by pandemic. It is travel, because for you to experience, because tourism is all about experience. And if you're not able to travel and transport yourself from one place to the next, then you are unable to travel and you are not generating tourism at all. So the best thing that we in government can do is we have to ensure that it is safe and to have that consumer confidence. So we have to, that's the reason why the secretary issued so many issuances already to ensure that our accommodation establishments have all these healthy protocols, that they are complying with the protocols of Department of Health. Yung transport buses natin, they are complying and all our tourist vans are complying with the DOH protocols, and that's the role of government. We ensure that the fear that the people are feeling will be erased, and that we make sure that there's confidence in travel, there's confidence in tourism, there's confidence in business, so that everything will flourish once again.
Magaling. Okay. Carol, ito ba si RR ang bagong spokesman ng Deep Tourism?
Yan po magiging, alam nyo Sir Barbie, Sir Michaels, hindi nyo po na itatanong, meron pong, dati pwede pong maging actually yan pong aming senatorial bet for the next election.
Mababa pala yung spekulasyon ko, spokesman lang eh. Ito pala, senador pala. At panalo yan sa
Kaya siya, partner kami. Kasi sir, kaming dalawa, dati kaming tourism officers. Naging barkada kami. He was tourism officer of Nueva Ecija, and I was tourism officer of Dumaguete. We meet sa national board, which is the Association of Tourism Officers. Hindi pa, wala pa kami sa DOT, magkaibigan na kami niyan, partners, rockstar niyan.
Good.
Pumasok sa DOT, then nagkakita-kita din kami. But we come from the grassroots, so alam namin ang sitwasyon sa baba. Yun ang our stakeholders that we know, especially the grassroots na anong hinaing nila, because galing kami dun eh. We come from the grassroots.
Correct. Pero maganda yung mensahe mo, no? Parang, we have to, if we have money to spend it wisely. And spending it wisely is not necessarily being too frugal, but spend it at the right places with the right people. Yun lang naman ang bottom line doon. Carol, what's your prescription?
Well, you see, Sir Barbie, the Philippines has been plotting its tourism recovery. Kasi if you would notice, na po tayo from GCQ, we're gearing towards MGCQ, and then hopefully towards the new normal. So with the country's crystal clear waters, our breathtaking white sand beaches, our gorgeous mountains, our dive spots, all these just scratch the surface of the most splendid tourist spots the Philippines has to offer. So, idagdag nyo pa po dyan ang complete na air connectivity natin. Our air connectivity actually has in fact improved a lot. Though some of the airports, sir, talagang kailangan pang magkaroon ng night rating. But soon, the DOTR Secretary has pledged na, of course, together with the DOT, so soon, hopefully, lahat po ng ating airports, domestic airports, ay magiging night rating na rin. So, with the country's rich culture, plus yung ating po accessibility, all these have been the main reason why our foreign and local travelers visit the tourist destinations year-long, especially in the summer months. And then, the best selling point pa rin po natin is the warmth of the Filipino.
Wow.
Yes, warm hospitality po ng the people itself, the people themselves. Yes, so yan po ang pinaka-best selling point natin.
Tama ka
Yes.
doon, Carol, no? Parang tayo mga Pilipino, dahil kailangan tuklasin din natin yung mga iba nating kababayan sa iba't ibang rehiyon. You don't know your fellow men that well. There are so many people, there are so many traits na nag-i-enjoy yung mga foreigners natin. They always say the smile of the Filipino. Regardless, no? From Siargao to Palawan, tayo mismo taga Metro Manila, nakakita ka na ba ng ngiti ng taga Palawan? Nakakita mo na ba yung halakhak ng isang taga Dumaguete? Yung mga ganong klase. Kailangan maranasan din natin yun. Hindi natin pwede. Ngayon, I will turn to Ryan. Ha? Kasi sabi nga ni Carol kanina, we have a lot of rich natural attractions in the Philippines. But in your case, Gravity Pilipinas, you can build it anywhere. I remember dating governor ngayon na Congressman El Rey Villafuerte when he built the Camarines, yung wake park sa Camarines. Complex. It could have been built anywhere. You have a vacant lot, kahit na sand yan, kahit sa Porac yan, pwede mong itayo. Yung inyo ganyan din. Why are you building in the Philippines?
Why am I building in the Philippines? Why not? Diba? I mean, we Filipinos, we are naturally adventure-loving. Like, makakatay yung mga talampakan natin, so gusto natin lagi tayong lumalabas. And we always crave for new activities, new experiences. Kasi gusto natin, kinakwento natin sa mga pamilya natin, sa mga kaibigan natin, yung mga bago nating mga naranasan. Kasi ito yung kwento ng buhay natin eh. Kasi gusto natin laging, di ba, we are a very vibrant culture as well. We love we have that zest of life. So with these facilities na kung hindi man lang sa akin yung iba pang mga facilities, ito yung mga nabibigay ng mga facilities na to sa mga sa mga fellow Filipinos natin. Like I said, we want everybody to be able to experience that elation, that sheer pure joy, of having of having to accomplish something that you never thought or you didn't even know that you could accomplish. Diba? So these facilities, for the lack of a better term, facilitate that as well.
Okay.
So yes, the Philippines is a no-brainer, diba? Na dito tayo gagawa. And kasi I used to work with foreign bungee sites when I was abroad, and I always encounter a lot of Filipinos who go there for that experience. And part na rin siguro of my research, I always ask them, if pumunta kayo, kung merong ganito sa Pilipinas, pupunta ba kayo? Ang lagi nilang sagot, unequivocally, why not? Right? Hindi na sila kailangan mag-travel malayo, gagastos sa airfare at lahat. And they can just put their money like RR said, you put the money into the economy and you help out your fellow countrymen through this. And this is why I've been dreaming about this for years already. Yung plano na to, yes, we just registered this year, but this plan has been in my mind and in my heart for a very long time, because this is what I've been dreaming, to be able to put this up, not only to give that enjoyment, but to also be able to help out every Filipino who pass through the site. And not only that, be able to help out the people around it, because like our regional director said, yung tourism kasi hindi lang naman dun sa particular site yan eh. Nagtitrickle down yan dun sa economies that surrounds it. So if you put something like that, which is a premium world-class park, diba? It automatically, like you said, if I was building a hotel, but if I only have this site and then you have the hotels surrounding you, those hotels will thrive also because of that site. At the same time, I will thrive because of that hotel. So like what you guys said, we can only help each other, diba? So
it's valuable business, but it's viable business, but more importantly, it's the people that you're looking after, and aside from the fact that you're Filipino yourself. Unfortunately, we only have time for final words from all our finalists. Finalists, parang beauty contest panelists pala. Let's do a call out. Let's do a shout out for for all Filipinos out there on what they can do to support Philippine tourism, which is on its way to a bounce back, a big, gigantic bounce back. Mohamed, do you want to shout out to our friends out there?
Yeah, actually, I would like to thank for having me here, and on behalf of other admins and moderators of our Travel Philippines Project 81. I would like to thank you for having me here on behalf of them. And
All right.
I can assure that on our group we will be spreading more positivity than negativity to bounce back hard once the MGCQ is declared. And we will for sure promote Philippines local destinations more to bounce back
All
hard.
right. Okay.
Thank you.
Salamat, Mohamed. Thank you very much. Ryan, you want to go at it next?
Yes, sir. Just thank you for this opportunity for us to be able to have meaningful conversation, about how we can help out as private citizens and as government servants in trying to help the Philippines recover from this, and bounce back. We like what our regional directors said. We are a very strong industry. We are a very strong community. As Filipinos, we are strong and resilient. We are diverse pero united, and as long as we encourage each other, we will, to paraphrase the guys over at the DOT, wake up to a new and better Philippines. Travel has always been a very, very important part,
Yes.
and it plays a very important role in the lives of human
Filipino
beings and,
people,
of course, the Filipino people. Because this is where we are able to find personal connections, learn about human empathy, knowledge about our surroundings and how we can take care of it. It inspires us to seek for meaning and to seek for something that's more than just us.
Very good.
And to discover new things, new experiences. And through doing this, through the travel industry, we're able to live extraordinary.
All right, Ryan,
Thank you very much.
what's the working title, or what's a tentative name for the park? Is there a name already?
There have been several names that we've been throwing around, but because may mga ibang, minsan kasi may mga nuances dun sa names, so I'd rather not say first, but
Sige.
of course
Basta-
it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting once we launch it.
That's the
Marami
adventure.
tayong mga marketing activities para dyan.
That's the new adventure park in Subic. Parang let's leave it at that. Thank you very much for being in the program. Director Carol Uy of Region 3.
Yes, rest assured the Department of Tourism will continuously promote multi-destination and summer packages. And then the department, through the regional directors and under the leadership of Secretary Berna Romulo Puyat, we have been working closely with our stakeholders, with our LGUs, local government units, with the local chief executives, and with our private stakeholders, including our major airlines, in an attempt to introduce markdown prices for domestic flights.
Wow.
And with our hotel partners for more discounted accommodation rates and value-added tour packages. Most importantly, we will strengthen our campaign for local tourists since we forecast a huge downslope in foreign visits until everything gets back to normal. So
All right.
in the meantime, let's stay home, and then let's have a good sleep and wake
Right.
up in the Philippines. Sabi nga
Wow,
nila,
yeah.
until we can travel again. But for the
Oh.
meantime, RDRR will tell you more about the Pinas muna. Okay. Thank you,
yan.
sir. Thank you.
Habang habang they're staying home and staying safe, planuhin nyo na yung magiging biyahe nyo. Open-ended yun lang muna yung date. Pwedeng September, October, November, December. Pero planuhin nyo na saan nyo gusto pumunta. Pwede nyo pasalan dyan, si Director Carol sa Region 3. Ngayon naman, yung final words ng ating NCR Director and and Senator to be, tama ba yun, Carol? Senator Woodrow R.R. Maquiling.
Alam niyo po, Sir Barbie, marami pong salamat. This is the second time that we're together in one show, and I'm always fascinated by how you bring life to the show. And thank you for the guidance. And to Sir Michael, thank you very much for the invitation. Truly, this is, the very first show that you conducted. You invited me. However, I was not ready at this point in time. And thank you for allotting me a space at this particular episode. And I'd like to thank the whole Tourismo staff and the whole Tourismo team for putting up this. It's very important that we continue to talk and to engage each other.
Dialogue.
When the world stopped already because of the lockdown, the best way to continue living is talking. And what you did, and all of this platform is a very good avenue for us to connect, for us to engage, and for us to plan a better future for all of us. And there's no better way to combat and bounce back from this pandemic than help each other. We help our neighbors, we help everybody, we help our business enterprises, we help our friends who have all of these businesses. And the only way to move forward is to follow government regulations. This is the new normal. I'd like to yung sinabi ni Ryan kanina, that he is more engaged with the new normal, with which I agree, because the new normal will be a more responsible person, a more
better normal.
That we comply with regulations. Hindi yung pwedeng, kung may pwedeng ipalusot or makalusot, lulusot tayo. Di ba? Pag sinabing 50% lang sa bus or sa jeep na makakasakay dyan, dapat 50% lang talaga. Kasi you know what? We are doing this, your government is doing this to ensure your health, your safety, that we can live longer. Yun lang naman.
Galing.
Galing, ha?
We can experience the best of the Philippines because it's certainly more fun in the Philippines. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, RR. RR, meron akong re-recommend sa yung presidential na pwede ka na mag-line up. Bubulong ko na lang sa'yo. Alam ni Michael yun.
Yes.
Alright, Mike. Paalam mo tayo, Michael.
Yes. Siguro, last words lang from of course, from Tourismo. Well, the reason why actually I invited Woodrow, yung mga first natin episodes is straight kasi actually constituent nyo kami. We are actually operating in NCR, and Tourismo as a platform will operate in NCR. And of course, Tourismo is for the Filipino, whichever region it is, no? It's a platform that connects, that interface all the travel and tour companies in the Philippines. We don't intend to create our own tour packages, airline, cruise ships, etc. But this will interface everyone. No, this will connect. This is going to be an access to customer platform. If Ryan have this type of adventure camp or adventure sites in Subic, Tourismo he is here and willing to help promote your business. And aside from this, I just want to emphasize, sir and ma'am, no, sa ating mga regional directors, meron pong component ang Tourismo that can help track, protect, and inform the public of any possible infection again in the future, not only by COVID, but kung meron uling uusbong na SARS o COVID in the near future after 6 months or 1 year, si Tourismo po is there. Meron po siyang capacity to track the passenger. It also have the capacity para magkaroon ng non-contact o contactless payments and contactless booking to all the stakeholders or businesses in the tourism industry. Ganyan po ka-powerful yung Tourismo na dinidevelop namin. And I hope the NCR directors can support us in this endeavor. So, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nakinig sa atin sa araw na ito. Ngayon po ay araw ng kalayaan. And maging malaya po tayo sa mga susunod na araw.
Siyempre. Ay, maraming salamat. Maraming salamat to RR, to Director Carol, to Ryan and Mohamed. Thank you very much. Boy, folks, I guess what we're saying here is we have a bright future that we're looking forward to as far as Philippine tourism is concerned. We have a better normal that we're looking forward to and gearing towards. Ang kailangan lang, magsama-sama tayo magtulungan. Kayo, yung ating mga biyahero, yung mga nagtuturistang mga Pilipino, nakasalalay po sa atin ang tagumpay ng tourism industry sa darating na mga panahon. Kaya tulungan po natin ang ating industriya dahil atin ito. Why do you travel? You have learning, you have leisure, you have love. At lahat yan matatagpuan nyo dito sa Pilipinas. Matututunan natin yung ating mga bagong mga kultura ng ating mga kababayan sa iba't ibang panig ng ating kapuluan. Makikita natin yung mga gandang tanawin, yung mga magandang pasyalan, at yung experience, yung karanasan na yan, ay napakayaman dito mismo sa Pilipinas. At higit sa lahat, malaki ang tulong nyo kung kayo magbabayad ng sapat. Huwag nyo nang tipirin, huwag nyo nang baratin. Hanggang sa muli, sa ngalan po ni Michael Herrera at buong team ng Tourismo TourismoTV, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong pagsubaybay, pagsama, at hanggang sa muli, ang inyong pong lingkod, Barbie Atienza, mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Mabuhay.